Alright, welcome back to the TCI headquarters. We are here for our preview and predictions video. If you guys had listened to our predictions last week, if you were a betting person, you would have done a whole lot better with our predictions than most of the other ones you heard from the Clemson media. Believe it or not, there were a number of people in the Clemson media that actually predicted Clemson to win that game against Georgia.
We weren't it.
We were not it. And I'm not
Nobody
sure
on our side.
what the heck
was
they've
it.
been looking at in depth chart and talent and everything else. But the good news is we'll have a little bit different take. Hopefully, I don't know what Will's prediction is.
I don't know what
this
yours
week.
is, so we'll see.
I know mine's going to be different. App State comes to town. You know, you can't call it a trap game because Clemson just got their butts handed to them. You do have a bye week after this game, but I don't know if it's a good time for App State to come to town or a bad time. I don't know if there's ever a good time for App State to come to town, but Clemson better be ready to play because App State will come to town with dreams of pulling on another big upset.
Well, they've won at Michigan. They've won at Texas A&M. They've won at North Carolina. They've won at South Carolina. App State.
Well, you had me going till you through South Carolina.
Well, my point being is they've played group of four schools, and a couple of them SEC, a couple of them ACC, and they've won. And so they're not intimidated by big stadiums, big teams, fast teams, all that. They try to come in and they play hard. That's what they do. They play hard. They love the fact that they can beat the big boys. They play off of that, and what they try to do is just hope that they don't get taken serious enough, and then they come in and take you out. Now, granted, historically, Clemson has played App State well. They're 5-0 against them. The last time they came to Death Valley, they had a really good team.
They don't have Chase Price.
They had a really good team the last time. They were, that team that went on to win 13 games that year. I think Clemson might have been their only loss. And or at least they only lost one other game besides Clemson. Anyway, Clemson beat them 41-10. That was back in 2015.
I'll take that.
That Clemson team took them serious, and as you should when you play App. So that's where. So it's really where Clemson's mental makeup is going to be, because App's going to bring to the table what they're going to do, how they're going to approach this game. It's going to be up to how Clemson approaches this game.
Well, it used to all be, will Clemson beat Clemson?
Right.
No matter who they played. It's no longer that. That's no longer the case anymore.
No, because Clemson can
the talent, but in this game, that is the case.
That is the case. It is the case, because Clemson is better than App State at every position, and they should have an advantage. But it doesn't guarantee a win. And it's like you said, if Clemson comes in here and they do like they did against Georgia last week, where they have stupid penalties that prevent first downs, they can't block, they can't make tackles. They had 9 missed tackles in the second half. Dabo was saying today. They can't do that against anybody. They do that against App State. App State's going to beat them too. App State's got a good enough talent that they can beat a Clemson if Clemson's not on and playing their game. And so it's a nerve-wracking game. It really is, And this is the first time since playing Georgia in recent years where Clemson doesn't get an FCS team. The last 3 times they played South Carolina State twice, and then they played Furman. So after they played Georgia, okay, they got to play a real team the next week. They got to play a good football team the next week that can match them with scholarship players. That's going to have some players that can match them for play. So they're going to have to play a real hard football game, and they got to totally, like you said earlier, they got to totally get past Georgia. Just get them out of their heads.
All right. So what's your key to victory?
Well, that's one. Forget about Georgia. Is one. I think that's the main one. The second is, I think, when I look at App State, their quarterback's pretty good. Threw for over 300 yards last week. His name is Joey Aguilar. He's he completed 24, 36 passes, 326 yards, 2 touchdowns, average 9.1 yards per attempt. So they're going to throw the long ball. It sounds like they're going to also, what I know for what they like to do, they like to get up there and snap the ball real fast, and they're going to throw it outside of their playmakers and try to get you to miss in space. So tackling is going to be at a premium for Clemson. So with all that said, I think Clemson's defense, especially the safeties, Barnes, he's got to play better than he did last week. Goodness, he was awful last week. Mickens, Venables only played 10 snaps last week. I didn't realize that.
Surprising.
Yeah, it was. Griffith played. Also, he played pretty well actually. So he was the one that played.
He got the start.
He got the start, and he played well. So those guys have to play well. The secondary has to play well in this game, and I think that's the key to me in this game is the Clemson secondary has to be up for the challenge because I think App State's going to test them.
All right, my key to this game is going to be the offense. The defense, hopefully, will play better.
You
I
hope.
think they got to. We got to see some offense from Clemson. I mean, we need to get the running game going. We need to see Cade get some confidence. We need to place the work. I'd like to see the freshman receivers out there. Obviously, Antonio Williams played great. As you mentioned in our video on Tuesday, I'd like to see the tight ends become a more important factor. Offensive line, I know the video of them running into each other and all that, but they really didn't give up a sack. The only sack was on Cade.
Which is good considering Georgia.
Georgia has a great defensive line, so
Yeah.
I actually felt a little bit better about the offensive line. But
And Moffitt averaged over 4 yards a carry, which is good.
yeah, I thought it was 3.7, but that's good.
We can round it up.
Do that 4 times, you got a first down.
That's right. That's right.
I said this last week too. I think the first quarter is going to be important as well, just because if the offense comes out there and sputters after what happened last week, there's going to be a lot of boo birds coming out in Death Valley the first game of the season.
Yeah.
People can agree or disagree on whether the fans should do that and all that, but the fans are pissed right now. So
The majority of the fans are not happy, right?
yes, so you need to come out and you need to do some good things early, get the crowd excited. Okay, we'll get back to Clemson football, and then hopefully things will go well. All right, Will, prediction time. What you got for us?
Ooh, yeah. See, I just wish I knew the mental psyche of this team because I don't know it. I mean,
We won't know.
I didn't like what I heard when they said they weren't mentally prepared for the second half, the defense. So I didn't like that. That's part of your mental psyche, right? And I don't know what to really think about this. I do know App State though took care of their business last week. They beat an inferior team the way you're supposed to, and they look good doing it. I think for Clemson they got to kind of come in with that same approach. This is a team they should beat, and they should look good doing it. To me, for this to be a good win for Clemson, they got to win by like 30 points. For it to be a good win, because I don't think that's what's going to be the case.
Okay.
But I'm just
going there.
No, I'm not going there. No, I said that's to me would be a good win, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So I think there's going to be a lot of more angst next week going into the open week. I think a lot of fans are going to be questioning things still. So I know my prediction for the score is going to be like 35-17 Clemson.
35-17.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first point is, if you beat App State, you shouldn't feel better, because you should beat App State.
If you beat them 41-3, you should, or something
You
like
still
that.
shouldn't feel better. You shouldn't feel like, okay, we got all this figured out. It is tough because of what you just said. You got Clemson scoring 35 points.
35-17, yeah. I figured that East Tennessee State can score 10.
That would
Clemson
be-
should at least be able to
That
double
would
that.
be nice to see, and certainly possible. I'm hoping the defense can. I don't know. Defense is going to have to play really well. I think Clemson wins this game. I don't think they win by 30. Whatever you said would be nice.
That would be nice.
I think the offense will play better. Last week I said this team and this quarterback are going to have to prove it to me, and they certainly didn't prove it last week. They actually did worse than I expected, which I didn't have high expectations going in. I'm going to go with Clemson 27, App State 10.
Okay.
So 17
So about
point
17
win.
points, same way. I just said get
but-
more points.
I don't know. I'd love to, and you guys know if you've watched my predictions in the past, I love to go high, and we're gonna get 45 and 50, and hopefully this will be the game where it breaks out. But I got to see it first.
Yeah.
But Clemson just needs some confidence. They need a win. They have a bye week, which I think may be coming at a really good time because some of those things we talked about how they probably need to make some changes in the lineup. bye week's great times.
I wish they would have had a bye week. You know why?
Why's that?
Because NC State's playing Tennessee, and I'd love to play NC State coming off the
Right
Tennessee
off of
game.
Well, that's another fun game to watch. We'll see. I think DJ's family member plays a little bit different than DJ.
You think he does?
That would be fun
So, I
to
mean, he
watch
looked like he does last week.
Somebody that Clemson did not offer, by the way. So,
And can you imagine if he was a quarterback?
that would be a little bit different story here. But it's Clemson football. It's Death Valley. A lot of you fans pay a heck of a lot of money.
You only
for
7
that
times a
parking
year.
pass and those tickets and to have fun and tailgate. Hopefully the weather will be great so you guys can enjoy a great day of tailgating and try to enjoy yourself because you do only have 7, regardless of how the team's doing, all that good stuff. Enjoy it because, you know, there are not too many places that have the environment that Clemson's got and the tailgating that Clemson's got and a stadium like Clemson and all of that.
And here's me taking my shot at Florida State. And an administration that understands that season tickets and football tickets are important to have, so let's don't have 25,000 of our stadiums sitting empty because it's not done construction-wise. Somebody need to get fired for that. Somebody need to get fired for that. That's just unacceptable.
I think it was a great year for that to happen.
Well, yeah.
With the team they've got,
But
it's
a great year for it to happen. But at the same time, I'm like, you're coming off an ACC championship, and you got 25,000 seats you can't use. Horrible planning is what that is. That's horrible planning.
You've got Clemson and Florida State that worked hard to get the ACC to change and provide some additional revenue for those teams that go to the playoff and do well in the playoff.
You never take away.
Bad news, Clemson and Florida State, you're probably not getting a dime of that money this year.
No, I don't think so. I think Miami may be getting some.
Makes them look.
Boston College might be getting some. How good did Boston College look? Let's be honest.
Look good.
Boston College looked
Georgia
good.
Tech's look good.
Yep. Miami's
A couple
look good.
teams we don't play this year, thank goodness.
Don't play any of those 3 teams.
So it's going to be an interesting year in the ACC. But Clemson just needs a win. They need some confidence. They need to off week to go well. Come in Death Valley in I guess 3 weeks and beat NC State, and then you'll start to feel a little bit better.
Yeah, it's like I was telling you. This season is a 3-game season right now, and because even App State, you want to win it, but even if they lose it doesn't hurt them from the standpoint you can still win the conference, right? So it's a 3-game season in my opinion. It's a 3-game season. It's North Carolina State in a couple weeks. Then a couple weeks after that, it's at Florida State. Then a couple weeks after that, it's Louisville here in Death Valley. So 2 of the 3 you get in Death Valley, and you got to go play a struggling Florida State team on the road. If you can take care of business in those 3 games, you're probably playing in Charlotte. No, not probably. You are. You are playing in Charlotte if you take care of business in those 3 games. And you're playing for an ACC championship, and that's where you want to be. So
maybe play Miami.
Yep.
The Neff Radakovich bout. All right, folks. Hope to see a lot of you guys Saturday night. I know everybody enjoys those 8 p.m. kickoffs. App State coming to town, night game. Fans love it. Media hates it. But we'll be right back here, probably about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, finishing up our coverage for you guys. So hopefully everybody has a great weekend. Hopefully next week we can be talking about a win and getting ready for bye week and starting to build a little bit of confidence. But stay tuned to Clemson Insider for the most complete coverage of Clemson football, Clemson athletics, and recruiting.
Hey Clemson fans, make sure to check out Clemson Insider for all your athletic coverage. Nobody does it better.